So, today I thought I would be doing something a little bit differently. Um, as you can see, I have made myself a new deck. In some ways, it kind of resembles the regular buffed Paladin and like Excavate Paladin. You see, there's the hammer, there's the all the excavating tools, the Titan, and everything. But there's also a few odd pieces out. There's the Holy Cowboy, and like main reason I am putting him in is because I'm trying to build a deck here that's a little bit different than the usual Paladin deck. I don't know how the rest of you feel about the current meta that's about Paladin, but I want something that's maybe a little less aggressive, a little bit more controlly. So this is my attempt at it. I'm trying to make the auras work, not just the token Paladin that we normally see using the Crusade aura. Like, for example, I don't even have the Crusade aura in the deck. The auras I'm trying to get to work is the Resistance aura and the Crafter's aura. I have the Cardboard Golem, I have Trinket Artist to help me like make them stay longer and get them out of my deck to get them on the board. I am not sure how this deck works. I am not even sure if it works. I am. I tried a few games with it. It seems like in any aggro matchup, I have a very poor chance of making it through. But surprisingly enough, it seems like against control, this deck does surprisingly well. It might just be because they're expecting something completely different. But let's just get to the games. I'm thinking I do a few games and see how it goes with this deck.
In the shadows. I fight
Okay,
in the
Rogue.
name of honor.
Uh, I mean, I don't think this is the kind of hand we want to see against Rogue. Maybe keep the Kaleidosaur. Yeah, I'm sorry about all the numbers and the tracker and all that kind of stuff. I rarely even use it, to be honest. Like, currently I think well, with the recent nerfs, I think the metagame is too unstable to really rely on the numbers that is being given. It looks like it is the rogue deck that I was also playing yesterday. I'm thinking his turn 2. I don't want to just give him something, but I do want to excavate, so I think we'll just pass the turn again. Next turn I could coin out the Trinket Artist. But yeah, I'm a little worried about this deck being a little bit too passive, so to say. Like, it can have an okay start, but usually the early game is kind of non-existent. And since you don't really have that many good ways to heal yourself and keep yourself alive, I don't really see the deck surviving any kind of aggro matchup. But hopefully our opponent here isn't being too aggressive with what he's doing. Okay, that is not that good for us since my entire hand is creatures. I mean, it's something to play. And I'm assuming it actually works fairly well against our rogue opponent. Makes all those nasty shadow steps and preparations cost some mana instead of being free. So if I play this, I get this down to 5 cost, which means I can play it next turn. So I think that is the play. Put down the Righteous Protector to get up a wall. Then hopefully he trades in. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Is this an ogre deck? This might be an ogre deck. I could board wipe here. Play the Kobold Miner and use Keeper's Strength to wipe. because I'm not really a fan of playing the Crafter's Aura until we've played the Cardboard Golem. It is one less turn, but
Prophet, guide me.
and I'm also going to be taking some damage here. So this might just be the play. Kobold Miner, Keeper Strength, clear the board. Yeah, I've convinced myself. Oh, I could also just use the rock to clear the board. But no, I want to make it a little bit more difficult for him to deal with what I've got going on. Make him spend some resources on dealing with the 3/3. Oh yeah, this is definitely an ogre deck. Okay. I mean... that is a little scary. So I can do this to try and... I think this just might be the better play. Get this guy out. Hit. And hit. I am honestly a little scared about what's gonna happen when he plays that Ogre Legendary. He keeps having the perfect answers. Oh. Okay, so now I could just play the Crafter's Aura. And see what I get. Sif. I mean, he'll probably trade into it with the 6/5. Hopefully. It sets me up in a pretty good position with the Prismatic Beam. And if he doesn't trade it... okay, so... gives himself some damage, trades in there. I think we want to hold on to Sir Finley if we can. But let's get the excavating done. And get the Cardboard Golem down. That's pretty good. That's some taunters. This is looking a little rough. I do want a position where I can use the Prismatic Beam. Because at some point he will play the Ogre Legendary. It'll make all of the Ogres he played this game come back. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how I deal with that. So I can deal with his entire board now. So that's pretty good. Do this, get rid of the board. And then we play the Trinket Artist, I think. See if we can get another aura. Okay. Let's put down the taunt. So the win condition for this deck is... I'm thinking it's going to be the Crafter's Aura. So, like, to be honest, I don't see many other ways the deck wins. Okay, here we go. So I think this is the perfect time for me to use Serpent. I don't really see a better time for it. I still have one more. Oh. Yeah, now that is not that good. I'm assuming I can have more than one aura going at the same time. See, this might be the reason why I should put in the Crusader's aura, because without the buff weapon, the plushie becomes a lot weaker.
What to do?
I'm a little worried about what he got from the Discover. I think I am just going to have to rely on... I could do this and hope that I get Collapse, that I can deal with 2 of his creatures. That might also be the play. But I think I'm going to see if this works. Okay, it does work. Cool. That way we'll just keep on spawning 6 drops for a while. Give the ogres some more targets they can slam their heads into. Okay. That thing is not really a fan of attacking, it seems. So he has the Azerite Scorpion now. But yeah, I think this deck it has a rough time figuring out how it wins. Like, one of the ways is definitely get the hammer so I can start buffing my hand and put out big creatures together with my auras. But if I don't get the hammer, I don't think this deck does what it wants to do. So I think I'm in a position where I need to surf it. I don't really want to, because it means that the... Oh yeah, well, definitely. If he's buffing, then I need to do it. So we play Sir Finley. And then we can start using this weapon. And we'll clear out his board. So there's a good chance that the Ogre Legendary is coming back here next turn, but if I can buff up my hand a little, then maybe it'll be okay. Here he comes. Fills the bone. I mean, if he keeps hitting me in the face, then then this is gonna be a short game. It's an interesting deck he's playing. I haven't really seen this one before. If this would have been the regular Excavate Rogue deck, I think I would have had a much better chance. But because he can keep dropping those ogres, then my board wipes just don't really keep me going, so to say. I am not even sure what I could top deck to save. So Borrow Buster definitely doesn't do anything. So I think I swing in and I see what I get from the Excavate. A 5 cost. So if I get Keeper Strength, yeah, I don't think this is gonna cut it. I think I've just lost. Like, I can play this, I can attack into the 4-3 to kill it or one of the others, but then I still take...
Little time.
Yeah, I still take way more than lethal.
This is your moment.
The main reason I have the miniaturized cards in the deck is because of the now I'm having a hard time remembering what his name is, but the crafter that brings me an aura and a divine shield minion. I thought it would be a little on the low end to only have the 1-drop divine shield minions, and I couldn't really figure out which other divine shield minion I should be bringing, because Tyrion seems way too slow. Yeah.
I fight in the name of honor.
Why is the 100% kept rate on the crafter's aura against Shaman? I think we're throwing this back and we're trying to find something else. I feel like Holy Cowboy is such a good card in this deck, to be honest. I get to put it down, and the next time I play an aura, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. The resistance aura is gonna be free, or the crafter's aura is gonna be 5 mana. Oh, it's the Whizbang deck. I don't think I've played against the Shaman Whizbang deck. Oh, so it's like extremely aggressive quest shaman. That's pretty cool. But I mean, the Tigress plushie is definitely worth it. Like, this card is definitely worth it in the deck if I can manage to buff it up. Without buffing it, it doesn't seem that great. Do I care about that? And I don't really want to trade into a 1-1 if he's just gonna lightning storm my board. Coin into... He's getting a lot of Murlocs now. My plan was originally to just play the cardboard golem. I think that still is my plan. Play the cardboard golem, start getting some value on my future auras. And then if he starts flooding the board, I can use Prismatic Beam to deal with it. Yeah, I think that's the play. Kill this thing. Battlecry and a Murloc. 2 of his quests. But yeah, I don't know what to expect against this matchup. I mean, it is not really the normal matchup for me. But I'll be frank and say I'm not really trying to make this deck super great. I'm just trying to have some fun with what I'm doing. Like, as my legend rank clearly reflects, is the second I hit legend, I stopped caring. I just wanted to hit legend, and then I wanted to move on with my life. Because I felt like the sweatiness, or like, I'm not a fan of the extreme aggro archetype that a lot of the decks have seemed to become very fond of. A part of me wants to just play this and maybe use the rock on the 3-2. I think that's what. So it gained rush. Yeah, I think the play is still just use the rock on the 3-2 and hit into this. And then hopefully I will draw my crafter's aura soon. Because I'm pretty sure in this matchup, if I can just get that Crafter's aura down, then I might be able to just run away with it. So he completed 2 quests at the same time. He hasn't done any of the Overload quests yet. I mean, I can fairly easily deal with his entire board, so I think that's just what I'm doing. So we just swing in here and use the prismatic beam, and then we cardboard golem again. What was that called? Finders Keepers. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. I am in a pretty good position here, I'd say. But it's also a unique deck that he's playing for sure. Okay, now he's going for the Overload quest. Oh, that is very good. Then hopefully we get the Crafter's Aura. There we go. Perfect. Then we can start getting some value. I feel like that aura is so underrated. It seems like no play, but I guess 7 mana for that effect is also a lot. If you use the Holy Cowboy to get it out, then maybe it's more worth it, but even then, it is a lot for an effect like that. And it's an effect that usually doesn't really help you right away. Like, over the next 4 or 5 rounds, it'll create me a lot of value, and it's definitely gonna help me fight for board control. But if you need to do something right away, then it's not gonna do anything for you. And with the way that the meta currently is, I believe that it's just not fast enough. If it was 5 mana, let's say it was 5 mana baseline, then we might be able to talk about it being a pretty good card, especially with the Holy Cowboy. I would like to draw some more of my excavate stuff. Maybe that should be a thing I add a bit more of into the deck. I do have 6 cards in the deck that excavate, and
What to do?
that might not be enough. I mean, if I swing in and I use Prismatic Beam again, then I could wipe the board. This gets buffed up, and he probably plays the big Merla.
What to do?
I think that is the play. Clear this, make this bigger, play mining casualties. Get another 6. Oh, that's not a good one. That's probably one of the worst ones I could get. Baking soda volcano. Still pretty good for me that it didn't die. So we play the resistance aura for sure. Summon a 1/1 Tiny Fin. I think we played this guy just to deal with that, and use this to deal with that. If he's going to Baking Soda Volcano again, I don't want to put too much out, but playing this is still I still believe that is the best play I can make. Oh, that's good. That's very good. So he could play the Shaman Titan now. But that's not going to deal with the Boulder Fist Ogre. Imagine a Boulder Fist Ogre winning a game of Standard these days. I honestly can't really... I can't say if this deck is good or not because my opponent was playing a deck that clearly isn't the greatest. I don't really see the Whizbang deck performing that well against any of the regular decks currently going around. Oh, well, that is GG. I feel like Sir Finley is such a good card. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys something a bit more interesting. I'll be showing different types of decks that I brew myself, and decks that I just find on the internet like I did yesterday. But look forward to it, and I will have a lot more to show you. I'll see you guys around.